This is why I wish we did audio versions of the podcast, because no one can see how stupid I look but you.
And that's something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. Oh, I'm taking this off. My name, as always, by my lovely co-host, Marcie.
Hello.
I actually, you know what? I put the Eclipse on our schedule today, on the agenda. I was like, we're going to talk about the Eclipse. So, but we don't do video for this podcast, so you guys didn't have to see my very stylish look of me wearing my Eclipse glasses over top of my actual glasses with headphones on.
I've never seen Emma look as good as she just did.
It was an incredibly stylish look. It also was hilarious because I actually couldn't see anything out of them, because that's how Eclipse glasses are supposed to work, is you're not supposed to be able to see anything out of them. Except for, like, the sun. So my eyes did not get burned off. I can still see, which is good news. But yeah.
I would like to first off apologize because I once again picked the worst time to make my dinner.
It's the thing, it's like we record the same time every single time.
I lost track of time because I don't know why, but my day's been really off with, like, it hasn't felt like the time it is all day. So I was sat and I was like, I've got to a good stopping point in my essay. Perfect. I'll go make my dinner and then I'll call Emma. What? And then I checked the time when you sent the
4 o'clock.
Yeah, and I was like, oops. Bad timing. Yeah. But then to make up for it, I did pour half my pasta down the sink without it. It's been a long day.
Oh. But yeah, yeah, Eclipse, I don't know. It's like, it's cool and all, and it did make me realize, as I was staring up at the sun, being covered by the moon, with my lovely glasses on, it did make me realize that I can see how, like, ancient civilization, like, you know what I mean, would see that happen, and they'd witness it, and they think the world, like, this is their gods, like, punishing them for something because the world goes dark, and those who were looking up at the sun while the world went dark can't see afterwards. I too would also believe in a deity. Exactly. That's why I was like, you know what? I would believe in a religion if that happened to me and I didn't know any better.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, someone's done something to piss someone off.
Yeah. But yeah, the Eclipse is fun. I don't know. I always like thinking, like, every time there's an eclipse, I always do think about, like, which NHLers would be stupid enough to look directly at the sun during an eclipse. Mitch. Or William Nylander, who didn't even know there was an eclipse going on today.
Yeah, he just saw it getting dark and went, huh?
My eyes! It won't be Sidney Crosby, though, because his eclipse was during his pre-game nap. And so he's missed it, because he was napping during the eclipse. Because that is Sidney Crosby. Honestly, though, like, I'm not even surprised. I'm like, oh yeah. At this point, I would have expected being like, yeah, Sidney Crosby would miss like an eclipse like that because it's during his nap.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so Leafs and Pens today, but I do want to talk about Leafs and Canadians first. In Canada, Saturday night, Leafs and Habs in Montreal, always a good game.
What more could you want?
Samsonov and net. And also as well, the return of Mitch Marner to the lineup after suffering a high ankle sprain.
He's back.
He's back. Way to go, Mitchell. Way to come back. Appreciate it. Now, I never want to hear another Leaf get a high ankle sprain ever again. We're done. We're not doing this anymore.
I'm so deeply traumatized by it all.
I would love to know, like, and this is such like a weird stat that I feel like we would never know, but like and I'm not even, I guess we could also like concussions would be like the really obvious answer of like, of course, like teammates would get the same injury in the same season, but outside of concussions, like what is like how many times have we had multiple, like more than two, I guess as well, I should preface, get the same injury 3 different ways across 3 different positions too.
I know we're going for a full house.
Full house. But yeah, so I just have written down, like I have nothing written down for the first except for that it was slow and boring. Because literally nothing happened. It was 20 minutes of hockey.
Which is good because I missed the first like 15 because I was coming back from another hockey game.
Yeah, so you didn't really miss anything.
No, it looked really boring when I switched it on. I was like, okay, I've not missed much.
You didn't miss much, no. I will say though, with Marner back in the lineup, Sheldon Keefe fooled around with the lines again, doing splitting up Matthews, Marner, and Nylander on 3 different lines. Going Bertuzzi, rolling still with the Bertuzzi, Matthews, Domi line, but then moving Marner into the second line with McMahon and Tavares, and then healthy scratching Nicholas Robertson for Nyes, Holmberg, Nylander. And then the fourth line stays the same, unchanged with Dewar, Camp, and Reeves. I will say, like, it really showcases the Leafs' forward depth. I should clarify, forward depth. Because there's not a lot of defensive depth right now, but showcases the Leafs' forward depth. That the fact that you can, like, split up those 3 and, like, put them on 3 separate lines and still have, like, a really competitive and dominant hockey team is crazy.
It's a good sign.
It's a good sign, especially also as well, Calle Yarnkoke is still out.
Yeah.
Sheldon Keefe did provide an update on him and Liljegren because they did skate today. I want to pull that tweet up. Hold on. Gotta find the right. No. I sent it. Did I send it to you? Or did I?
I don't know.
Trying to remember. No, did I? No, I didn't. I think I retweeted it though, because I did see that tweet and I retweeted it. So it's somewhere. Hold on. I really should have sent it into I thought I sent it in, but I didn't. Oh, yes. Yarncrook and Timothy Liljegren skating ahead of the main like Leafs morning skate today. Which is good. It's a good sign. And then there was also like an update as well. There was like a quote from Sheldon Keefe, and now I can't find it. I have to go through Mark Masters.
Love you, Mark.
Yeah, Sheldon Keefe says there's a chance. Oh, he said this yesterday. My mistake. Sorry. I tend to not listen to Sheldon Keefe's media availabilities. I'll listen to the players, and then I'll be like, all right, bye-bye. No more.
If he says anything really important, it'll get tweeted.
If he says anything really important, it gets tweeted, and if it sounds like it's like a funny soundbite, then I'll go and listen to it just for that one part, because there's been a couple of those this season where I'm like, oh, but like unless they show them like during the broadcast on Sportsnet, like post game, won't listen to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sheldon Keefe, this was yesterday. Or I guess not yesterday. This quote was not yesterday, sorry. Post game on Saturday. I'm looking at the date of it now. Sheldon Keefe says there's a chance Calle Yarncroke and Timothy Liljegren return in the regular season, but it probably would be just those last 2 games that would be in consideration, which is the 16th and 17th against Florida and Tampa, back-to-back, with travel. Our favorite!
Joy. What a treat!
Our favorite thing on the entire planet is back-to-back with travel.
I am just So delighted.
I'm so delighted, just as much as I am delighted of the fact that the NHL changed the start date of the playoffs, meaning I had to scratch out the pre-printed date in my Pittsburgh by Pittsburgh Penguins pet calendar and write it in 2 days earlier.
You should like sue them. Get a new calendar.
No, because it totally like also as well. I'm not suing the Pittsburgh, but also as well, purely from like a content perspective from us, and we didn't even talk about this. We're not even done talking about the game. I feel like we should finish talking about the game, and then I'll complain about this from that'll sound really annoying when I complain about this from a content perspective. But yeah, and then the second period really started to light things up, where the Leafs scored 4 goals in 6 minutes.
Incredible.
Less than 6 minutes. Domi started it out. Just with a little sneaky goal against his former team. Because remember when he was a Montreal Canadian?
Oh God.
It's really funny though, because when I was in Montreal earlier this school year, when I was in Montreal back in November, I went and did a tour of the Bell Center, which you can do. It's like $25. I highly recommend you do it. They do it basically every day except for not game, I think game days, or like it's like you have to look. They don't do it every day, but they do it basically every day. If you ever find yourself in Montreal, do it. It's well worth it, even if you're not a Habs fan, because you get to like go behind the scenes. They take you up to the press box, and the Bell Center press box is really cool because it's like right above the ice. It's not along in the walls. And like you get to go in the locker room and things like that. So it's cool. In the Habs locker room, they have like lists, like they have a list of like the guys who the lineup of every single team. Max Domi's name is in there. More to like he is forever will be in the Habs locker room. But and then of course Matthews with number 64.
Oh my.
Which keeps him on pace he just has to do a goal a game for the next 6 games till the end of the season, or,
Which is
he can
doable.
he can have multi-goal games. All he needs is 2 hat tricks. You put it like that, which he's already done in back-to-back games this season.
Who are we to complain?
Why? Exactly. Also as well, Matthew Nyes, as well. Which
Matthew Nyes.
I did say that third, like, did we talk about it last, where like Nylander on that third line with Nyes and Holmberg will still be really, really fun to watch? Am I right, or am I right? Because that was so fun.
I think you might be right.
I love being right. Yeah, and then also as well, Bobby McMahon, off of a gross Mitch Marner pass.
Oh my God,
that pass was gross.
It was beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes.
It was so it was disgustingly gross. It was a great pass from him, and I saw that pass happen. I'm like, yeah, he's back. He's back. Welcome back, Mitch Marner.
I was like, we are so bad.
So bad. And also as well, there was also a fight as well. Ryan Reeves going up against Michael Pezzetta for a hit that Michael Pezzetta did on David Kampf, which we love to see, like, standing up for your teammates, which is cool. I will say that, like, hats off to Michael Pezzetta for choosing to go up against Ryan Reeves. Like,
yeah.
Michael Pezzetta is one of those guys where I'm like, you are actually insane.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch him, if you ever find yourself watching like a Habs game, just because I don't know, why not? And you want to watch, like, yeah, okay, you can watch, and you like picking a player and just watching them the entire game. Yeah, you could pick Caulfield, or you could pick Suzuki, or you could pick Slavkovsky, or whatever. Do me a favor and just watch Michael Pezzetta.
in mind for the next time I voluntarily decide to watch a Habs game.
Just watch Michael Pezzetta. Because then also as well, like, then they showed the side by side of the two of them in the box afterwards, and it was what goal was it? It was the Domi goal, wasn't it?
I think yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And then Reeves is like like mouthing off to Pezzetta and be like, "Hey, look at that! Look it, we're winning now."
He's so, I love him.
So stupid. Also, just a solid game from Samsonov. That's all I have about Samsonov. It's just solid game.
We love you, Sammy. It was such a good game.
It's such a good game. Yeah. What else do I have? No time. Blah, 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 blah. Edmondson potentially could return to the lineup as well sometime soon. So who knows? It's sometime later this week. Not tonight, but potentially Thursday or Saturday, which is against New Jersey or Detroit. According to Sheldon Keefe. Also as well, power play still needs work. 0-2.
Yep.
On Saturday. I just have like very top loaded first unit. Like their first unit that they're rolling out is ridiculous. And then you roll out the second unit that has Mark Giordano on it. No offense to Mark Giordano.
Oh dear, what are we doing?
Because he's obviously a very good hockey player. But Sheldon Keefe, what are we doing? Because it's not like he doesn't have a defenseman on that second power play unit. Because Jake McCabe is also on that power play unit. Callie Yarncrook needs to come back so bad.
Please, Callie, we miss you. The power play misses you.
Because our power play's been like so god awful. Also some other news. Leafs.
It's been bad.
It's been bad. Leafs clinched the playoffs by doing nothing.
Which, once again, who's surprised?
Who's surprised? They clinched the playoffs because they had the chance to clinch the playoffs on Wednesday last week against Tampa if they got a win, which they did not. But then every team in the Metro that is still in the running for that second wildcard spot all lost the same night. And so the Leafs clinched their playoff spot, which is great. It'll mark I gotta make sure I get the stat right, the 8th time the Leafs have clinched the playoffs.
Look at him go.
8th consecutive time, my apologies, 8th time in a row, tied with the Bruins for the NHL's longest active streak. Because of course, it's always freaking Boston.
There's no escaping them.
But yeah, which means also as well that the Leafs have clinched a playoff every single season in the Matthews, Marner, Nylander. Well, Matthews and Marner specifically in that era of like John Tavares wasn't there in the first season. Like, if you go back and look at the lineup from like 2017, it's ridiculous. Hold on, I'll pull it up. It's so because it's like I don't know. I was just reminded because like on like today, like 8 years ago, they clinched it for like the first time in this era, and like the goal scorers in the game that they did it in were like was like Asbury Kapanen and like Connor Brown.
Oh.
Right? So I'm like, what are we like? That's the thing where I was like, okay, you gotta. So I've pulled up the roster from 2017 from that season, and net
Oh god.
we had Freddie Anderson, who's still playing
Oh,
lights out in Carolina. Our backup goaltender though was a split between Jonas Enroth, Antoine Bibeau, and Curtis McIlney. So Roman Polak was on it. Oh my god, bro. Like some of these names, I'm like Leo Komarov. Leo Komarov was on this team. Frederic Gauthier, Jake Gardner, Connor Carrick, Tyler Bozak.
This team.
JVR. He's on Boston now, because, yeah, sure.
Oh, we've been. Why not?
Why not?
Insane.
Matt Martin.
Oh, miss you, Matt.
Yeah, like, yeah, Zach Hyman, like, Nazem Kadri. It's just like one of those things like you look back and you're like, damn. Austin Matthews, 69-point season. Nice. But yeah, no, the Leafs also as well, Ilya Samsonov was the Leafs nominee for the Masterton Trophy this year. Which is just a trophy for the player. Each team it's nominated by the Writers Association. So each chapter nominates a player that fulfills, like, represents perseverance and hard work in the sport of hockey. Which is really funny because every winner of the Masterton Trophy has a reason. Like, if you look up the Wikipedia page for the Masterton Trophy, every winner has like a reason next to them. It's like why they won it. So a lot of times it's like, oh, this guy went through like a life-altering experience where he nearly died and came back to play. Right? That season. Sometimes it's like, oh, this guy just has played for a really, really long time and he's never won anything. Which is like, so because like they're each chapter of the Writers Association has to submit a nominee. So each team has to have a nominee. So because I saw a lot of people like not, I don't know, like being like, these are kind of dumb nominees when they're nominating like Claude Giroux for Ottawa or like Sidney Crosby for Pittsburgh. And I'm like, guys, they have to nominate someone. And maybe it's a good thing that no one on their team almost died this year.
Yeah, like, you should be happy. Yeah, you should be happy that like no one on your team has been deeply traumatized.
Yeah, especially because like last year, like Chris Letang won because he got a stroke again. I will I think like not to like, yes, of course the whole trophy is like who had it worse and still played.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of the silliest. Not silly. I don't want to say it's silly, but like it's an interesting reason to give someone a trophy.
It's kind of like just like who can trauma dump the hardest.
I do think though, like it probably will go to Freddie Anderson.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be objective about it.
Yeah, that's what I was I was like looking through the like list earlier, and I was like, it's gotta go Freddie. Like, he's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And now look at him. He's come back and he's just like
Mhm.
absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, he's played lights out. Also as well, Noah Chadwick, Leafs prospect, assigned to the Marlies from Lethbridge as their season has now ended. So that's cool. Good for him. He's shown a lot of promise despite being a 6th-round pick for the Leafs. They signed him very early after his selection. He was in this most recent draft, 6th round, 185th overall in the 2023 draft. He was the Toronto Maple Leafs pick, and he signed a contract, like an ELC, pretty early with the Leafs into this year, which obviously means they really see a lot of promise in him. He had kind of a breakout season as well with the Lethbridge Hurricanes in the WHL in 66 games this year, scoring 2 goals, 44 assists for a combined 56 points. He also is 6'4" and 200 pounds at 18 years old.
Whew.
So he is a
my.
big boy, and that's exactly the type of guy on the blue line that that Brad Treliving wants. And he, I don't know, maybe he will play with the Marlies with the few games they have remaining of their season as they try to look to extend it into the playoffs and stay in a playoff position. They had a pretty brutal loss to Utica the other night, but
it was rough.
I say the other night, it was last night.
Yeah, you were just getting like updates from me, just like it's 5-1.
You told me, you were like, oh, they've pulled Kavlin, and I was like, oh, okay, so they put Dennis Hildeby in.
Nope.
And then I look, and there's a tweet from Nick Barton that says they pulled him with 7 minutes left, and the Marlies put on the extra attacker. Sheldon Keefe, look away. Sheldon Keefe, do not be putting the Leafs on a 6-on-5 with 7 minutes left when you're 3 goals down. Don't do that. But there is kind of a big game tonight, I should say. Pens versus Leafs. Pittsburgh Penguins are in town. It's Michael Bunting's return to Toronto the second time. After coming back earlier this season with Carolina. No, he's been traded, so now he's coming back with Pittsburgh. Do we think he's going to score again?
Yeah.
It was really funny. He did say that he was trying to cut some deals with Austin Matthews last night. Not surprised that they hung out last night.
Yeah. That, like, where else would
yeah. But yeah, Pittsburgh is fighting for a playoff spot. They have clawed their way back into a playoff spot, which is crazy.
Kicking and screaming.
Sidney Crosby putting in the work. Pittsburgh, the Penguins sit at 83 points in the standings, which puts them a win back. They're like 2 points back from they're 2 points back from the Islanders. Which, like, here's the crazy thing. They're 2 points back from the Islanders, who are in the 3rd Metro spot. The Pittsburgh Penguins, if they get a win tonight against the Leafs, could move into third in the Metro because they have more regulation win. They'd have more regulation wins than the New York Islanders. And this is where I hit you with a question that I've already given you a warning that I was going to ask you today.
You did warn me this time.
I thought Joseph Woll was going to be in net tonight. He is not. It is projected to be Ilya Samsonov, which means Woll will probably be getting the start against New Jersey tomorrow because the Leafs play back-to-back with travel. So not surprised if he's already in New Jersey. That's what I will say. Like, I'm not going to be surprised if Jones is the backup tonight because it means that they're making extra, being extra sure that Woll will be well rested for a start tomorrow. But also, I do want to. But did they send him ahead?
Yeah,
again.
We need to know these sort of things.
Yeah, we get a live shot on the press box, please.
Please.
But yeah. Where was my train of thought? Yes, this is where I asked you the question of, would you rather Leafs win or Leafs win, everyone's happy, whoop-de-doo, we get the belt, video to whoever, Sammy happy, everyone's happy, or Pittsburgh Penguins win and they further solidify their spot in the playoffs?
I mean, if not for the team, for my own sanity, the Leafs win.
But they're already clinched their playoff spot.
Yeah, but I don't want to see sad Sammy.
I think this was a harder question for you to answer if Joseph Woll was the starter.
Yeah.
But
it would have been.
Which is, I am surprised that he is, and I know Sheldon Keefe probably has it all mapped out about who's going to start where based on how he wants who he wants to start those last two games of the season. But also they did have a day off, yes, but I don't know. I just thought, you would put Sammy in against New Jersey. But Sheldon Keefe probably has a plan based on who we're going to face in the first round, which is going to be Florida, so he probably wants Samsonov to start that game against Florida. Who knows? I don't know. I am not Sheldon Keefe. As predictable as he may be, sometimes I cannot read his mind. But then also as well, Leafs play again, like we said, tomorrow, back-to-back with travel again. And yeah, that's all I had on that game. Is just that they also play tomorrow on Tuesday, because we won't be with an episode until Thursday. So
no.
Now I'm trying to remember about what I wanted to talk about and then stop because I was like, oh, we should actually talk about the game.
You were going to complain about something.
I am usually always complaining about something. I should have written it down too, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And it was definitely really good where I was like, oh, I want to complain about this.
Oh, it was something about content.
Content. Oh my god. It's right. Oh, yes. It was about the playoff schedule. And as I don't want to call us content creators.
Yeah, as content.
I don't know if that sounds more or less insufferable than podcast hosts. Either way you dice it, it's not great. At least
as regular chatters.
Sure.
Enjoyers of gossip.
But okay, the NHL's moved the start of the playoffs up from the 22nd to the 20th, which is, yes, only 2 days, but you're moving it up from a Monday to a Saturday. And it just means that, as someone who kind of, wants to do a show that is a prep for the NHL playoffs. It's hard to do that when we're on the schedule that we're on. And this may just be an us problem where it's like, well, you guys are like, it's your schedule that you guys made. Like, the NHL isn't going to, like, make everything work for you. But like, but like, you know, the games go up until the 18th, right? That's like the last day of the regular season. We do a show on the 18th. We're going to have 4 Leafs games to talk about. Not 4 games. We're going to have 2 games. Sorry. We're going to have 2 games. I scared myself for a little bit. I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. We're going to have 2 Leafs games to talk about against pretty major opponents, which is Panthers and Florida and Tampa. And then also in the same show, we're going to have to talk about the NHL playoffs as a whole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do our, like, be like, oh, these are the matchups. These are who we think we're going to win each matchup, blah, 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 blah. Because then the playoffs start the Saturday. Whereas if they started on the 22nd, they would have not started until 7 o'clock. And so we could have done a Monday show dedicated to talking about the playoffs.
But no, the world hates us.
World hates us. And even then also as well, because it starts on the 22nd, like, and those are only like what, the first game of the series, it doesn't really matter. Like, oh, you guys can, it's still like will ring somewhat true on Tuesday because it's only one game of a 7-game series. Anyways, that's just my personal gripe with it. Also as well, you're giving players less time off. Also as well, you're giving me less time to fill out my playoff bracket. Because none of the matchups.
I need to remember to do that, actually.
I know that's the thing. I'm not going to remember to do it. Because, like, there's still, 1, 5. There's still quite a few spots up for grabs.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I remember last year when I made my own, like, I stuck it in front of where my laptop sat on my desk, and then, like, I got to, like, scribble it all off.
Oh, you did, like, a big bracket up on your wall?
Oh, yeah. It was, like, a big A3, and I, like, stuck it right above my laptop. So I'd sit with it.
I'm trying to remember, did I do a bracket last year? I know I did one 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember if I did one last year or not. I don't think I did. But I did do one 2 years ago. See, that's the thing. I need more time to decide on my bracket. Did you cut yourself on something? You burned yourself on your...
I just decided to hold the candle like that and then light it into my hand. So now I've just burnt my finger off. Ow. That really hurt. Oh well. It's still a time.
Yeah, Leafs and Pens tonight. I'll leave you with 2 quotes, and then I want to talk about some other things as well. But William Nylander on facing old friend Michael Bunting. I'll get under his skin. Bunting on Nylander, he was joking around with me, saying that he's ready to fight me anytime I want. I'll be all over him tonight for sure. Oh, the money in the world I would give for William Nylander to fight Michael Bunting.
Please. Please. Hockey gods, make it happen.
Make it happen. But yeah, I do want to talk about Sens and Devils. Empty netter.
Oh, how the turntables.
I think the best part about that is that they had cut so quickly from the Leafs broadcast to the last like 26 seconds of the Sens and Devils broadcast. And then it had like, right? So basically every Leafs fan who was watching the Leafs game were basically shown that moment. It was given to them on a silver platter.
It's beautiful the way the world works.
So for those who don't know, and because you were living on a rock or just not on Twitter in the past 2 days, on Saturday night, Sens versus Devils, after the Sens had pulled their goalie for the empty net to try and get one up to tie the game, and after the buzzer had gone, like, it had just been after the buzzer. Like, if this was basketball that we were watching, it would have been like a buzzer beater, per se.
Yeah.
Where it was like the puck was in motion and then the buzzer went and then the puck went into the net. Nico Hirscher guided the puck into the empty net is what I have written down. And Brady Tkachuk didn't like it. And went after Nico Hirscher for it. And what I have to say is, yes, okay, you can be like, well, obviously there was comparisons very quickly drawn to the Morgan Rielly, Ridley Greig situation that I think we've discussed in like 5 different episodes of this podcast.
Yep.
And like, yes, it's not the same. It's not equivalent because Brady Tkachuk did not cross-check Nico Hirscher in the head. But I will say, for like the Sens fans who were going on and on about how there's no rules when it comes to empty netter, there's no unwritten rule on how you should score an empty netter or whatever. There's no rules around an empty net, right? And unwritten rules, I should say, when around an empty net. To then now say, hey, that's a lack of respect. You can't do that. There's unwritten rules. Is the hypocrisy is ridiculous. And you can admit, like, I can admit that I've been a hypocrite when it comes to certain things, but like, it's okay to be biased towards your favorite team.
Yeah.
But like it's okay to say like, oh, when my team does this thing and it benefits my team, I like it. When another team does the same thing and it doesn't benefit my team, I don't like it.
But then, like, also, if you're gonna say that, at least, like, admit that you're biased towards your team.
Which is what Sens fans, like, aren't doing. They're trying to be, like, as an unbiased party. And we're like, we know you're biased, though. You're Sens fans.
Yeah. I think there was just something so beautiful and satisfying and just uplifting to see all these Sens fans getting so angry about like, something that they were giggling about not that long ago.
And to really truly like put it all in a bow, it was a Saturday night hockey night in Canada game. The Leafs had clinched the playoffs the day before, idle. By losing that game, the Ottawa Senators were eliminated from playoff contention.
It's just beautiful how it all falls into place.
And because of the timing of everything, the Leafs game the broadcast cut away from the Leafs game, essentially right to the moment it happened.
Oh.
And I was watching the game with Simon because he had come over because we'd finally done our anniversary dinner, like 2 weeks too late. Because I had gotten sick, and now I'm sick again.
Join the club.
I'm like, okay, I gotta get over this so quickly because I have a concert tomorrow that I'm seeing. So I'm like, I have to be ready to go. Like, I am ready. I'm like, I have the cold medicine. I will pop it. I will power through. I cannot, like, I have to be good to go. But and we watched this happen and we just started laughing. Like, not like crying, but like, I was dying laughing. I was like, it was so funny to me. And especially because we were at the game with the Riley Crosscheck as well. So it was just like, we're just like, this is so deeply unserious from the Ottawa Senators.
Oh, you love to see it.
But yeah,
Seeing Sen sounds miserable.
oh, it's just like so nice.
Yeah. It's just like, oh. It's just what I wanted.
Because the Sens, like, the Sens were, it's so unfortunate. Like, the downfall of the Ottawa Senators as a franchise is something that needs to be studied, because they were I was talking about this with someone yesterday. And the Sens were one goal away from the Stanley Cup Finals in 2017. They were one goal away from going up against Nashville when they lost to Pittsburgh. And immediately after that series, the Ottawa Senators made a series of trades. Like, it wasn't like immediate, but like after that, they made a series of trades where they traded away quite a few key pieces of their lineup that have now gone on to like have success elsewhere. Like Zibanejad, Mark Stone.
Yeah.
I can pull up a full list. I'm just on Cat Friendly right now, pulling these up. Because I don't have
favorite website.
Oh, I love Cat Friendly. It's so much fun.
Honestly.
My favorite thing to do is to go on there and like look and like go on to the like building, like when you can build a roster, and just pick like a normal, really average white guy name and be like, can I build a roster full of Connors?
I love doing that.
It's my favorite thing to do. Can I build a full roster of active NHL players named Connor? I've done it with like Roberts, Bobs, and Bobbies. That's another lineup you can do. I've done it with Wills and Williams. Like, you just have to pick like a really common like white guy name and go ham. Like, do like the Johnnies, and Jonathans. I think I did a Jonathan one once, like a John or Jonathan, and it was actually a pretty good team.
Impressive.
But yeah, like Carlson, they traded away after that. Like, Dion Phaneuf got traded away after that. I mean, not that that was a stellar trade to be made in general. Trading away like Andrew Hammond, Curtis Lazar. Just a lot of choices that were made.
No, like it's definitely a try.
Well, it's like, here's the thing. They had the pick that became Mackenzie Blackwood at one point. They were in ownership. They traded that away. They were in the ownership of the pick that became Andre Miller. Traded that away. They were in the first round pick 4th over for Matt Duchene. This was for Matt Duchene. They traded Andrew Hammond, Shane Bowers, a 1st overall pick, which was the 4th overall pick, which became Bowen Byram, and a 3rd round pick, which became Matthew Steinberg, for Matt Duchene, with 0 salary retention.
Oh boy. Oh.
What are you doing? Oh, don't even get me started on the Derek Brassard trade. I don't get it either. That was a weird one. Eric Carlson trade, that was a mess. There's like 7 different conditions on that trade as well, which is freaking hilarious. Chris Weidman, they traded him away.
Yeah.
It's what they had Matt Duchene for like 2 years, and then they traded him off to Columbus.
Oh.
Yeah, Mark Stone, that was at the deadline. Anyways, yeah, just a series of bad decisions made by the Ottawa Senators. It's unfortunate, but because it's like you see a lot of teams that have leapfrogged their rebuild. Right? And so you just have to like look and be like, oh well.
Yeah, it's like, oh god. What?
Philadelphia being one of them. But yeah, that's that on the Sens. Also as well, I have one more thing just on out of the WHL, a story that I like just sent to you like just last minute. So I don't know if you saw it.
No, I will look at it now though.
No, I'm going to read this out to you. Landon Dupont has been granted exceptional player status and is eligible to play in the WHL full-time for the 2024-2025 season. He is a defenseman, 5'11", 170 pounds, out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. He is the first defenseman and the second player in the WHL to be granted exceptional player status, the first being Connor Bedard in 2020. Essentially, exceptional player status, so an exceptional player must possess a level of mental, social, and emotional maturity that belies his age, along with hockey skills that greatly exceed those of other elite level players, both in their age group and among players several years older. For an individual who is granted exceptional status, they earn the rare privilege of participating in the Western Hockey League at an early age. It is believed that their development is more likely to be enhanced significantly by playing in the WHL as a 15-year-old than by participating in their designated age division. Here's the kicker, though, with Landon Dupont. He is not 15 years old. He is born in 2009. He is 14.
What? What? This
and
is
he's
a very
eligible
time for me to
he's
say.
eligible to be selected in the 2024 WHL Prospects Draft, which is scheduled to be May 9th. Born May 28th, 2009. So he will be 15 by the time the season starts.
Oh no, what do you mean he's the same age as my cousin? She's like 5.
Yeah, he is just starting high school. It's grade 9. Yeah,
I feel so old.
This kid probably doesn't even know what, like, linear equations are. Does he know what a parabola is?
He was born a year before One Direction happened.
Oh, when you put it like that. No,
because
he was. Wait, hold on.
No, because I remember sitting and watching that happen. I watched the formation of One Direction. What do you mean he was like one?
Oh no. He was born
Oh no.
a day before the first game of the 2009 Stanley Cup playoffs, which Sidney Crosby won his first cap in.
What? Emma, what?
Oh my god. No. This kid is too young to remember Sidney Crosby's golden goal.
I feel like I'm gonna have a crisis after this.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Oh no. I don't like this. Wait, hold on. I'm scared. What are you Googling now? No, I don't want to hear it. Whatever.
Do you want to know the top 10 picks for the
You
2009
don't wanna
NHL
hear.
draft? Here we go. Ready? Selected first overall from the New York Islanders, John Tavares. Second overall, Victor Hedman. Matt Duchene, Evander Kane, Braden Shen, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Nazem Kadri, Scott Glennie, who played one game in the NHL, Jared Cohen, Magnus Pajarvi, Ryan Ellis went 11th, but that's like the top. Oh my god. Chris Kreider was drafted that year. Zach Kassian.
Oh
Remember Zach Kassian? Oh.
oh my.
Marcus Johansson. Kyle Palmieri.
I don't like.
Oh my god. Ryan O'Reilly. Kyle Clifford.
Oh my god.
Robin Leonard. Mikko Koskinen. Oh my god, I'm having too much. Eric Jelinas. Dmitry Orlov. I'm having too much fun with this. Why am I having this much fun just reading off? Tyson Berry.
Oh, not Tyson Berry. Oh my. That is insane.
Oh, David Savard. Matthias Ekholm. Marcus Foligno. Ben Sherratt.
No. No, I don't want it.
Like 2009.
Also, the fact that 2009 was 14 years ago, I do not like.
Oh. Because, like, I remember 2009.
Hang on 1 second.
Why this is us having an absolute mental breakdown over.
Do you know what happened in
passage of time.
2009? Do you know what happened in 2009, Emma?
If it's something incredibly British, then will I know what happened in
Dan is Not on
2009?
Fire uploaded his first YouTube video. I started watching him in 2011. What do you mean?
What the?
This child is as old as Dan Howell's YouTube channel. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
2009, Miley Cyrus released The Climb. This child is as old as The Climb.
Oh. I had that song on CD as a kid. That was a CD that I owned. Was Miley Cyrus, like a CD that had Miley Cyrus's The Climb on it. Hold on, what? High School Musical. All three High School Musical movies had already come out.
Green Day released 21 Guns in 2009.
I don't like this game anymore.
Oh, this is topical. 2009, Justin Bieber released One Time. I don't like this.
This isn't fun anymore. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince came out that year.
Oh my god.
Avatar. You telling me this kid is the same age as Avatar? This absolute child?
What? No.
Anyways, congratulations to Landon Dupont. I'm sure he's a fantastic player. I mean, his stats certainly say so, but I don't like this game anymore.
He's as old as Jennifer's body?
Yeah, with that being said, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I'm so glad that we had this lovely discovery about how old we are. And just how young kids are becoming. Oh my god. Good thing I did this at the end of the show. And like this wasn't like I didn't bring this up sooner. Because I feel like mentally unwell.
Yeah. I feel like talking about this has made me think I need to start researching like nursing homes. Like I can just feel my joints.
Just like also, so can we talk about how this kid is 5'11" and 170 pounds at 14?
I am terrified.
That kid is going to continue to grow, both upwards and also in weight and size. And oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow. No, just nothing. No, just I'm like, wow, large child.
Very large child. 2009.
But yeah, so I don't even know like I don't even know what to say anymore. Like truly that was my last topic on the show to talk about.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
Surprisingly enough, like I don't know. I don't want to say it was a slow week, but also as well like No, there was quite a few teams who got eliminated from playoff contention.
Mm,
Apologies.
that there was.
Apologies to the Ottawa Senators and Buffalo Sabres as well, weren't they? Or not officially? I don't know. They don't put it like when you Google the standings, they don't show it. So I have to like.
Mm. Oh, do you want to know what happened in 2009?
It's just gonna make me like hate myself again.
Steve Dangle was on the season
Oh my god.
2.
LFR was 2 years old. I'm like this close to being like, hey, at Steve, you were on season 2 of LFR when this kid was born.
Oh my god, no, deactivate. We'd send him spiraling, Emma.
We would, but like sometimes he deserves it.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, okay, you know what we can talk about baseball.
Yeah, you know, Emma, tell me about baseball.
Well, the Blue Jays have their home opener today, and I'm
Ooh.
not there, unfortunately. I would
Oh.
love to be. I'm not there. I am going to a game in May, though, that I'm really looking forward to because we have family friends who have season tickets, and their season tickets used to be really, really good. They used to be right along the third base line, right at third base, basically first row. Great tickets. Now they're still in the 100s, which means I get to enjoy the comfy new cushioned seats. Um, so very much looking forward to that. But yeah, Blue Jays not having a great start to their season, unfortunately, which makes it really, really miserable. When, you know, you're trying to distract yourself from, you know, the Leafs, I don't know, losing against Tampa, and you switch over to the Blue Jays game and they are losing to the New York Yankees. I will say though, but yeah, that
Yeah, it's a tough one.
yeah. That's why I bought a full case of ciders the other day.
As you should.
I went into the LCBO because my roommate was like, "Oh, you want to come to the like I'm going." I was like, "Do you mind if I just join you?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, come along." And I was like, "Okay." I kind of needed to grab drinks anyway to pre for the concert tomorrow
Yeah.
because drinks at any event space are expensive. And I'm whatever going with her, and we're in the LCBO. And okay, have you seen the videos for those new Sprite drinks? Like they're like the alcoholic Sprite, like 7-Up. It's like a vodka 7-Up drink, and they're meant to taste like 7-Up, and they do. Because the guy was there giving samples, and whenever my roommate loves free samples. Like she is the best person to take into a Costco because she will find every single one and will make you try every single one. And so then by the time you leave, you only have to buy $1 hot dog.
Yeah.
From Costco and not two. Because you've filled up on free samples. And so this guy, whatever, and sometimes in the LCBO, which is the liquor store for those who are not from Ontario, sometimes they have people giving out free samples in there. And so the guy was there giving out free samples, and he had a couple he was like, "Oh, which one do you guys want to try?" And I was like, "I'll try the 7-Up one because that one looks way more exciting than just the plain normal slightly lime flavored vodka soda that I've already tried the lemon version of. So I have a feeling the lime one's not going to be that different." And because also I'd heard of the 7-Up soda as well. The 7-Up one tasted like 7-Up. Like it was, you did not taste the vodka. And the worst / best part about it, 7%. So incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, oh yeah, so that I feel like they'd end up being like my worst nightmare.
Because I have a couple of drinks that are like 12.5. It's like a cooler that's 12.5, and it's in a little like soda, like traditional, like you buy a can of Coke. It's in that size of can too, not in like a tall
Oh.
boy. Incredibly dangerous. I had one of those at a Jays game once, and I'd finished it and like had stood up for the 7th inning stretch, and I was like, "Whoa, okay,
You're like, oh no.
woohoo, party
Woo!
time!" But it's like those taste like it's like a tequila margarita. They taste like tequila. Like oftentimes I have to, if I drink one of them, I have to cut it with something else because it's so strongly like tequila, which, you know, I'm
Yeah.
all for a fun tequila shot every now and then, but I can't sip on tequila. I get ugh. um but yeah,
Yeah.
but those 7% tasted like Sprite. I was like, that is the world's most dangerous drink I've ever tried in my entire life.
Yep.
We'll be buying them this summer because they are $3 a can. We'll be buying them this summer. Yeah,
Brilliant.
especially because like I'm gonna have so much free time this summer. So yeah, but yeah, that's the story I had to tell. I don't know if you're in
Thank
your
you.
local LCBO or liquor store, give one a try. I do say they're like, if you like Sprite, you'll like them.
Fun.
I don't know. Do you have a fun story to tell?
Um, I don't. I don't know. I think, but nothing. Oh, I met loads of the Manchester Storm players. That's something exciting that happened. I went to a Manchester Storm game on Saturday night. We don't talk about the score. Um, it it was miserable. It was a very leafy game from them. Like I did turn to my friend multiple times during that game, and I go, "This is like just watching the Leafs." But they lost, and afterwards, because hockey's not as big over here, and the fact that they play in a tiny little rink benefits me because afterwards they did a little skate with the team where you hired skates and then you got to like skate around and just like chat with the players for an hour, and it was really fun. It was very enjoyable, and I didn't fall over, and it turns out I can kind of skate considering I've not skating since like 2021. It's been a while. I didn't fall over. My friend who went ice skating at Christmas and broke her wrist. She also survived. No
That's
broken
so good.
wrist. It was really fun. It was great. I got to meet Alex Aldale, who is he's my favorite Elite League goalie and
You
one
have
of
to
my
be
favorite.
really careful about how you phrase that
Yeah,
sentence.
I was like, he's one of my favorite goalies in general. I'm choosing to believe because he went and yesterday, Sunday, they went and played an away game. He started and he got man of the game. So I'm choosing to believe that meeting me inspired him because it was really sweet though. Because we just stood there and we were chatting about being goalies. Because he was like, "Oh, you a goalie too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but like field because I because my parents didn't predict what
Mitch
like
Marner.
20 my parents didn't probably trust me." Um, but yeah, and he was like, "Oh, cool." And then we were talking about being a goalie for like a few minutes, and it was really fun. And he's lovely.
That's what's
Um,
so nice about the Elite League,
mm,
that they're able to do
it's-
stuff like that.
yeah, it's great. And then they do like all the events, like go bowling with the team and stuff like that. And it's
Trivia
really cool.
night. Yeah. Cal's done a couple of those where
Yeah,
he's
I want
done
to go to one next season.
bowling, and they did like a pub quiz as well.
Yeah, that must have been fun.
That must have been really fun. But like that's the thing where it's like that's eventually at some point I would love for us to be able to do a thing where we travel around and we go to different leagues, hockey, like professional hockey leagues around the world, and like just experience a game and
Yeah.
experience the energy and like the team and all that sort of thing. Because it's so cool. Like Australia has a league. Isn't there also teams in like New Zealand as well, I believe?
Yeah, there's a New Zealand league. I've watched a few games, not in person because New Zealand's a little bit far away for that.
Yeah, it's a big ticket item right there for us to commit to flights to New Zealand.
Woo! No, I've watched a few, and you know what? All just look really fun.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
it's just fun.
Like there's a Swiss, there's Swiss league, there's KHL, there's German league, but like, anyways, if there's any of like, I don't know, at some point, if there's any people who work for those sort of hockey leagues who want to come and like invite us out to like watch a game and watch, I don't know, a morning like a morning skate or like a practice or something like that, and like sort of get the chance to like watch how you guys operate as an organization, we'd love to do that, like an inside look on things like that. I've wanted to do like that would be such a cool like series for us to do if we had the money to do that.
Yes.
Because it's
like, hey, all your different leagues, you know what email is. You can email us.
Oh, the email is in the show notes.
Oh god, that'd be so fun.
But like that's what I was just thinking about. Like, if we got to like go and like, see like the broadcast booth and stuff like that and get a tour.
So good.
I don't know.
What
I'm
a
sure.
dream.
So like Manchester Storm contact, call us.
Yeah, hey. You just see me like in the DMs like, hey bestie.
Hey bestie. With that being said, I think that's all we have. We've put quite a bit out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a solid episode.
Solid episode. I think we'll end it here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we will.
Call it a day. So thank you so much for listening. We will be back on Thursday with another episode, as always. You can follow the show on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. That's fourth with the number 4, and then TH. You can follow both of us on Twitter at 6 Marcie, at Parav1 for myself. And yeah, I think that's it. Right? Go Leafs go.
Go Leafs go.
Go Blue Jays go.
Go Blue Jays go.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. All right. Bye-bye.